Hi, good morning. It's Lori again. Today I wanted to talk to you about our progression and as we raise our vibration and then seem to fall backwards. Sometimes it can be caused for different reasons, but sometimes it's an attack, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. The attack can come from outside sources, it can come from within us. But as I've said before, over and over and over again, there are entities and energies out there, good and bad, that we are interacting with each day, whether we realize it or not. We interact with them through our thoughts. They can, okay, so the evil cannot read your mind. They can't, they don't have the powers that God have, but they can convince us that they do. What they do is they use uh, our own faults and misgivings against us. Okay, so guilt and negative beliefs, and we've covered all of those before. And at this level in the program, you are probably doing pretty good. You know how to cleanse, you know how to kind of get back on track, you know how to visualize, you know how to raise your vibration, you know how to cleanse your aura. Um, so those are all great things, and you want to keep those in mind and remember that the cleansing, the energy bath as we called it, can definitely be done at any time, very quickly and easily. All of these things are designed to be able to do very quickly, but we so we can also have these attacks though. So I just want to kind of explain that a little bit. It's difficult to explain if you don't understand how we work. But first of all, there's something called cellular memory. So look at it this way: you are cleansed. All the negatives that have happened to you, all the junk that you have in your aura, you have successfully removed. But we have something called cellular memory, and what that is our bodies actually hold on to situations, to beliefs, to anything that we've been programmed to believe. So it's usually from childhood or from some traumatic experience um, that our body remembers. So even if you've cleansed it, what you've done is you've taken away the power of that memory. You've taken away the feelings that's attached to it. You've taken away its charge, okay? But it's still there. Think about it like a cell phone battery or a tablet battery or whatever. It can die and it can be completely gone, but it can be, you can hook it up to a charger and it's activated again. Okay, so what these attacks are trying to do is activate them again. The higher your vibration gets, the less likely this is to work. But until the day we leave this earth, there's going to be attempts at this. Okay, and pardon me for being a little off track today. I feel a little tired, but I'm going to give you a couple examples of these attacks. um, let's just, for example, say that you have struggled with unworthiness. That's your one of your big struggles. Okay, or say you've done some pretty nasty things in your life, things that you're not proud of, and that's one of your struggles. Maybe shame. Okay, you've done the cleanse, you're vibrating at a high level, you're doing really, really well, everything's going really well for you as far as spiritually and growth, and you're dealing with the struggles of this world and you're at peace and everything's good like that. And then all of a sudden you feel this overwhelming sadness or anxiety kicks in, or all of a sudden you're angry all the time. um, this could be an attack. Now, it could be several things, but today I'm talking about attacks. What happens is these negative entities, just like how we have the positive entities and the angels, and how we talked about angels can kind of set things up for us and that sort of thing. We have to be very careful of what we speak out loud, because the negative entities can hear what we speak out loud. They can't hear our thoughts like God can. They don't know us inside and out like God does, but they do pay attention, and they pay pretty close attention to those that they want to destroy. So we have to be really careful about who we talk to and how much we talk about things. Not only are they listening, but as we've talked about before, the universe is designed a certain way. God set things up so that we get what we need. And so speaking out is very powerful. Our tongue might be one of the smallest members of our body, but it is the most powerful. So be very careful what you speak out. So anyway, so these entities can set up scenarios just like our God's angels can. And what they do is they kind of put you in situations that will bring up that cellular memory, whether it be a relationship that you're in, if it's an unworthiness that you're hanging on to, or that is at a, not that you're hanging on to it, but it's at a cellular memory level. You may run into 5 different scenarios in the same day where people talk to you in a certain way, or the event that takes place immediately brings up that cellular memory of being unworthy. You may not have an actual memory because you've cleansed things out, but all of a sudden you start feeling this feeling, and what they're trying to do is discourage you, make you feel as if you're never going to get ahead. Everything's always going to be the same. It's not going to change. And if they can get you to start believing the negatives again, then the cycle has started all over again. If it's shame, you're going to run into people and scenarios that are going to bring up that cellular memory. Whatever the cellular memory is, they'll bring it up. So how do we fix this? If we hold on to cellular memories, even after all this work, how do we fix this? Well, remember, the cellular memory is just a memory with no charge, and it's a cellular memory. It's not an actual emotional, spiritual memory. It's kind of like when something traumatic happens in a space and people seem to see that scenario play over and over and over again. That's not, quote unquote, an intelligent haunting. That is just a memory playing over and over and over again. Well, it's the same thing within our being, but it has no charge. If you're vibrating at a high level, it has no charge. It has no way to hurt you. It's indifference. We hold on to that so that we can move forward, and so at a cellular level, so that we can use that to our advantage. God can take that. God, the book about Romans says that God takes all things and makes them work together for good for those who are called according to his purpose. So we have these cellular memories so that when we run into somebody that is in need of our intelligence, our wisdom in that matter, we can relate. We know, we have been there, but we can use it in a positive way in order to help another. So everything that God creates, the enemy takes to use to destroy us. And we can do a whole series on that. But cellular memory is one of them. So what do you do if this happens? First of all, be aware. If you walk around in awareness, and if you're always alert, and we all slip sometime, don't feel bad if you slip, but if you're alert, and so that's why our journals are a really good idea. If we keep tabs on ourselves every day, be accountable for what we do, what we feel, what we go through. When we do this, it helps us to become aware. It helps us to notice even the smallest things, because the bad entities, the negative entities, evil does not come at us with horns and ugliness. Evil comes at us in a way that we're going to be deceived. That's the purpose. You got to remember, we are dealing with the father of all lies. He is a better liar than any of us could be. Okay. And he uses people. Sometimes the people are used unaware. Sometimes it can be your loved ones. Sometimes it can be a scenario with all people that you really care about. They're not doing it to you on purpose. They're being used as pawns. We also have to keep ourselves protected so that we're never used as a pawn in somebody else's destruction. That's a whole other thing. But so how do we beat this? So be aware. Keep your journal. If you start feeling angry, if you start feeling sad, sadness is what usually gets to me, or a feeling of unworthiness, because unworthiness happens to be what most of my cellular memories are about. And that's all due to events and circumstances that have happened in my life. So I can be aware of this. So when you're journaling, or if you just have this overwhelming feeling, things start going the wrong way, in an incredible way. I don't want to say, one thing goes wrong and, oh, this is what it is. I don't want to say that everything is an attack. That's not what I mean. But you'll see patterns in this, okay? There's patterns. There's all of a sudden, everything's going wrong. All of a sudden, all this bizarre different things. If one at a time were to happen, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But put them all together and it's like, okay, am I living in some kind of twilight zone? That's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. So in your journal, write it down. It makes you more aware. It helps you to be more discerning. That's another thing. Know the truth, stand firm in the truth, and do not bend on the truth, because that's another way that deception comes in and ultimately destroys us and brings up these cellular memories and brings us down ultimately through, if you're not standing firm in your truth, in your faith, a negative entity could come along and use deception to make you feel like you're on a good path, or there's a good opportunity, and you take it, you make a poor choice. Okay, so we got to be really discerning. That is another thing that they'll do is try, like I just said, try to make us believe something is right and it's on the right path, and we go that way, ultimately leads to destruction, which would lead to more shame, more feelings of unworthiness, more feelings of abandonment, whatever the case may be, whatever your cellular memory is, it will lead to that. And we can't blame it all on the negative entity. We made the choice, but if we stand in awareness and discernment, we're less likely to do that. Now, everybody makes mistakes. If you made a mistake, that's okay. Stand right back up in your truth, do an energy bath, stand firm in your truth. So you're discerning. If you're aware of it, you can cleanse it. And it's as simple as putting up your shield of protection energetically. It's as easy as saying, Lord, fill me with your protection, surround me with the light of the Holy Spirit, bind and remove any and all evil from me, and do not allow me to fall for any attacks. It's as simple as that. Do your energy bath again, go back and do that over again. Pull that charger out, kill that cellular memory. Kill the charge of the cellular memory. You don't want to kill the cellular memory because, as I said before, it can be used for good, but pull the charger out. Kill that battery, okay? That's all you got to do. And it's a constant battle. This battle will go on until you take your last breath. Because as long as we're here, we're raising our vibration. And we're never going to be raised to the point of nirvana while we're here. That's going to happen after. And those people that say you can reach nirvana here, they're not telling you the truth. I'm not saying they're liars. They may be fooled too. So cellular memories are there. They should not have a charge. The negative entities and energies in attack will charge them up or attempt to charge them up. And if that happens, that's all you got to do. Protect, bathe, cleanse, and stand in your truth. And you should be good. You got the PDF on this. There should be some questions attached. If you have any questions at all, or if you're having a hard time understanding this, write to me, answersforyou16@gmail.com. Have a great day.